G'day everybody and welcome back to our playthrough of Valheim. And as you can hear from the music, we are very close to the Elder. In fact, we may decide that we're going to sort of maybe pull back a little bit and maybe deal with the Elder a little bit later. Now, I was sort of having a think about what we should get up to in this episode. Obviously, we do still want to try and defeat the Elder, but I think considering what's happened so far, it might be a little bit better for us to be maybe a little bit more prepared for this fight. And I figure perhaps maybe we should go home and actually craft a few more fire arrows, you know, get a few things repaired here and there, and then go back out and see if we can challenge the Elder once more. We've been, I don't know if I want to say unlucky or maybe just plain old careless, because it's me we're talking about here. But yeah, unfortunately, we have died a couple more times, and yeah, it hasn't been great. At least we managed to retrieve all of our stuff, so I'm happy about that. But obviously, we do lose a little bit of our skill, and I think, thanks to the no skill drain buff, which you can see in the top right hand corner, we haven't really lost any more of our skills, you know, thanks to that buff. I think we did die one more time while we still had that buff active, which is good. Means that you know, we're still retaining most of our skill, but I think maybe, yeah, the wiser thing here is just to prepare a little bit more, make sure we've got enough of those arrows. We sort of used up maybe about half of our fire arrows already, so I'm thinking maybe if we just craft the same amount as before, maybe even a little bit more, we might have enough to try and take the Elder down. And I think the strategy that we're following is right. I think we just need to be very careful about those roots when they do pop up, and make sure we avoid them at all costs, or we're taking them out pretty quickly, just so that we're sort of sitting in a safe location, ready to sort of dodge any of those main attacks. I don't even know what he's hurling at us, to be honest, because they do look like extended roots as well from his hands. But yeah, anyway, we'll figure it out. Hopefully this is the episode that we finally defeat him, but man, what a challenge. Now, I was reading some comments recently as well about you know, whether or not we want to get into a few other things like farming or maybe even potion brewing, but I'm thinking of just keeping that until we go for the next rebuild, hence why I'm sort of frantically pushing to try and defeat the Elder. Who knows, we could potentially be fighting the Elder in a very difficult / inefficient manner, potentially. Who knows, it could be that we need certain potions or something like that to fight it more efficiently. Potentially. But I think it's doable. We can definitely get it done. I have no doubt that we'll get there. We just need to take extra care, as I said. Is there a way to tell what time of the day it is? Hey! Stop that. I was doing a bit of damage against our workbench over there. Yeah, I just wanted to see if there's a way for us to know what time of the day it is, because if it's getting pretty close to being late, then, you know, we can potentially have a sleep before we head back out to try and fight the Elder once more. The only thing that I'm sort of, I guess, forgoing this time around, though, is the fact that we did quite a bit of damage to the Elder already, so we're going to have to probably redo the entire fight. But I think I'm okay with that, considering that we might have a real issue towards the end of the fight if we don't have enough arrows. And that's why I'm more inclined to go home and make a few more. Destroy that boar with our bare hands. We're carrying too much, apparently. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Now, do keep dropping Grey Dwarf eyes. And according to some of you guys, Grey Dwarf eyes are probably going to be very important later on. So, you know, it might be a good idea to keep some of them. I mean, we've got a garbage pile here of Grey Dwarf eyes. So, you know, if we do need it, we'll come back here and we'll grab all of those Grey Dwarf eyes once more. Okay, so we are back home. There is a Grey Ling sort of hanging around here, which we'll just get rid of very quickly. And yeah, so I think we'll start with maybe just preparing all of our stuff while we can. Okay, good stuff. And let's go with the fire arrows here. We do need feathers. I have no idea if we've got enough. We've only got a few feathers remaining, to be honest. Now, feathers... I think to get more feathers we can hunt, like, birds. I'm not sure if that's, like, the best way to get feathers. I mean, we've found feathers in chests before as well, right? So... and that's the reason why we have so many. Okay, so we've got almost 100. I think we'll stop there. And look, you know, I think with the feather situation being so dire... scratch that, we've got plenty. I was going to say, perhaps maybe we need to start looking at hunting those birds. But perhaps maybe we don't need to do that after all. Now these ancient seeds, we could probably put these away. We probably don't need those for now. Got piles of wood, scraps, deer hides, core wood. I can't remember where we're keeping it. Here we go. Alright, we're sitting at 190 in terms of our weight, which is not great. I would like to be able to have a little bit more weight available. Do we have any more wood sitting around here? Not really. I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to just pile our wood into the charcoal kiln. Yeah, I think that's probably a good use of, you know, the occasional piles of spare wood. Now, let's have a look here. Is there a way to tell what time it is? I don't think so. We really just sort of need to look at the day itself. I sort of don't want to head out until we've got, I guess, a good night's sleep. I mean, it's mainly for the resting buff, but also I don't want it to get too dark when we eventually fight the Elder, because I feel like he's going to be so much more of a challenge if there are other enemies nearby that we have to face off against as well. Anyway, since we're sort of killing time here, I figure maybe we'll get into a bit more crafting. I'm just trying to remember where we craft the cauldron from. Ah, there we go. So we just need 10 tin for a cauldron. And I'm guessing it needs to be over one of these fires. So I suppose we can forego one of the cooking stations. Get rid of that. And then we'll replace that with the cauldron. So hopefully this is a worthwhile investment. So boar jerky, raw fish, queen's jam. Wow, okay, well, a whole bunch of stuff. Why don't we just take a look at what we can make here? So boar jerky. That gives us 23 health. What's this? 35. Okay. Doesn't seem to be an improvement. This is 30. Again, all of this stuff still seems to be a little bit better. Does give us better stamina though. So it's a sort of midway, like, I don't know, food, consumable. 2 HP tick. What's this? 2 HP tick as well. So the duration is much longer though, so 30 minutes. This is all 20 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay. Raw fish. Requires only one of the shown ingredients. Okay. But it doesn't exactly tell us what benefits it gives us. I think we've got a fish, right? So let's have a look. I'm sure we've got a fish somewhere. There we go. So why don't we chuck this in, see how that goes. Raw fish. Craft. So new material. Raw fish. We've got 4 raw fish. I guess you can then use that to cook with, potentially. There we go. Alright. Interesting. It is dark already, so we probably do want to have a sleep very soon. Queen's jam. Nice. Okay, so we can use blueberries and raspberries for this. That gives us 40 stamina, as opposed to 35, which we currently have with the honey. Gives us a little bit more HP as well, so this is definitely worthwhile. So now we've got cooked fish as well. That gives us 45 HP. That's much more of an improvement than the meats that we're currently eating. Let's see if we've got enough berries. Okay, we don't really have enough blueberries. Plenty of raspberries. But it might be a good idea to make some jams at some point. Let's take a look once more. Yeah, so we need 6 blueberries for every 8 raspberries. I'm going to be sort of looking for berries here and there. Mead base. Nice. Okay, so for minor healing. Needs to be fermented. Fermented? Mead base. Poison resistance. Minor stamina. Mead base. Tasty. Needs to be fermented. Okay. I mean, I'd be really keen on getting into all of these things at some point. But I think, though, we are going to try and challenge the Elder once more. And that's going to be the focus, though. So we do have some cooked fish, though, so perhaps maybe this is going to do us some good while we fight the Elder. Who knows? But it's time to find out. Let's have a sleep. And we'll immediately begin the day by running over to the Elder, and hopefully we can take care of business this time around. Okay, so... Sorry. I should have sorted things out before we started sleeping, but let's just put that away. We're at 151. I think that's decent. We've got a lot of arrows on us, that's the thing. But, yeah. Alright, let's head out. We'll save the Eikthyr buff for when we're closer. And, yeah. I think... Hopefully while we're fighting, because we're going to be, like, running around all the time, the Eikthyr buff will be useful in that regard. Oh, man. I don't know how many times we've ran back and forth from the house to the Elder. It feels like it's been happening a few times already. So there was the episode where we finally figured out how to get there. Then there's the episode where we summoned him, and then there was the previous episode where we fought him a few times, died a few times. And now here we are, with plenty of fire arrows at the ready. Probably want to just eat one of our cooked fish. What's better, boar meat or deer meat? I think the deer meat's probably a little bit better. Let's have that, and let's have that. Cool, so there we go. We've got like a much larger HP bar. Yeah, I don't know if perhaps maybe I was sort of eating that a little bit too far out from the Elder, but I figure maybe if we eat it now, at the very least, our HP is going to recover fully by the time we arrive. And hopefully we don't need to eat for a while. Got plenty of honey. We could eat some honey before we arrive as well, just to improve our stamina situation. I don't know how low the timing needs to be before you can start eating more foods. Because obviously, you know, when there's still a lot of time, you can't really eat more because we're too full. So that boar has been chasing us for quite a long time now. Got nothing better to do. Is it still following us? No. Okay. I was gonna say, if it was, it really has a death wish. Yeah, so when we found those blueberries, I was really excited, but then when we ate like one, it barely did anything for us, so yeah, I'm glad that we'd actually use these berries for some other purpose. I'm not going to gather them just yet, because I feel like I want to just focus on fighting the Elder, getting that done. Who knows how much weight and how many inventory slots we're going to need for any of the loot that it drops. Perhaps maybe if we still have a little bit of weight and inventory space on the way home, we might gather some berries then. Okay, I really don't want to get wet here, so... Alright. Good stuff, and let's have some of our honey. It'll give us 15 minutes. Alright, moment of truth. He hasn't really spotted us just yet. Cover our HP a little bit. Let's go. So yeah, getting stuck is really one of the main sort of issues that we're having to deal with when we're fighting the Elder. So, alright, let's start putting fire arrows in him. Man, getting stuck on the terrain is so annoying as well. Alright. That was good. Come on then. Okay, that was a decent escape. Okay, that's good. Let's let him get close. So sometimes he does this weird sort of standing scream thing, which I'm not entirely sure what that is. Yep, exactly like that. So it is really tempting to also try and, you know, slash him while he's kneeling down to try and, you know, create those roots, but I don't know if that's the best idea, considering those roots spawn all around us. think it's probably a little bit wiser to try and get away from those roots as much as you can. I've been shooting the center of this thing, but perhaps maybe I want to try going for its head and seeing if that does any like critical levels of damage, perhaps. We'll see. A little bit hard to try and get his head though. Completely whiffed that one. Okay, that was a little bit too close for comfort. I don't think it does any different levels of damage, guys, so I'm just going to keep going for the center. It's a much easier target. Alright, so the last time we died, it was because we had the false sense of security of being rested, and then as soon as we stopped being rested, we found ourselves being in a little bit of a problem. So what I'm going to do is use the Eikthyr buff here, actually. A, because I completely forgot, and 2, we're not rested anymore. So hopefully this helps. But I think we might have this in the bag. Unless I completely screw things up. Which is completely possible. Whew, alright. Just continue being patient. Nice. Oh man, finally. I'm feeling a whole lot more relaxed right now. Whew, alright. Well, there we go. The Elder Trophy. What the hell is this? A swamp key? What? Does it give us a description? Partly covered in caked mud. It smells... I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Fetid, I think? Pleasant. I think fetid also sort of is synonymous with like putrid or something like that. But anyway, we're gonna have to discover how to use this swamp key, so I reckon this is probably something that we'll get into much later, considering we've never really come across anything that will suggest requiring a key, I don't think. But anyway, I'm just really glad that we managed to defeat this Elder, because man, that took a long time. Alright, so we've got 200 in terms of our weight. There's plenty of wood scraps like everywhere in this area, thanks to the massive amount of deforestation that occurred while we were fighting the Elder. But I don't know if I really want to focus on picking up wood. Perhaps maybe I'm just gonna try and gather these berries while we have the chance. And yeah, the first thing that we want to do is maybe go back home, and then we should actually go back to the starting stones and see if we can place down this trophy and presumably get another Forsaken power to use. I do like the Ichthir buff though, it is very useful. Speaking of, we've still got 30 seconds or so worth of the Ichthir buff right now, so let's try and use it to run a little bit closer back home. So the fishies, doesn't seem like we can pick them up just like that. The sword definitely came in handy, although I'm not entirely sure if we really needed the sword exactly, because I think we could have easily maybe used the mace for it as well. Okay, can't seem to pick up the perch just yet. Sometimes you see some fish that's sort of been beached, and you can essentially you know, just pick them up. And other times it seems like the game still thinks that they have a chance and that they're surviving even though they're outside of water. But anyway, let's continue and see if we can get ourselves back home in one piece, while at the same time trying to find some more berry bushes. Yeah, being wet is horrible, actually. The wet status really reduces your stamina, and I'm not sure if it also reduces the amount of health that you have as well. Plenty of these blueberries. Let's just grab all of these. And I think with the berries, if you just sort of leave the bushes for a while, those berries essentially regrow. Got a Grey Dwarf nest there. Actually, we did mark that one down, didn't we? Yeah, I initially thought that we would have to, I guess, spend more resources to summon bosses, but luckily that's not the case. Alright, wet status is gone. Let's have some honey, and Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about consuming the fish for now, guys. I feel like we should save the fish for when we've got, like, a difficult fight ahead of us. I think it's wiser to sort of keep good foods for tougher battles. Okay, very good. I don't really think we need to stop and fight stuff, to be honest. $2.11, okay. Not bad. Yeah, these berries probably don't really weigh that much either, so... If we wanted to, we could potentially gather a little bit more copper while we're out here. Problem is the fact that it's very dark. Probably not the safest activity. Yes, and we don't really have the pickaxe with us anyway, so I guess we can scrap that for now. But, you know, because we've completed our fight with the Elder, that means we can sort of progress with the next self-appointed goals, I suppose, which is doing this rebuild of the house. And yeah, I'm actually getting very excited about doing another rebuild because we've learnt quite a lot of new things about the game and its mechanics, and yeah, we've also got a lot of new things to try out in terms of the building and the crafting. So, you know, I can't wait to actually build a more decent home, because the one that we have now, I mean, it's suiting our purposes for right now, but it is not the best. That's for sure. We've got we've definitely got, like, I guess a need for more space. I don't like that. I don't like being so close to the shaman and not being able to run. Let's see if we can just take the shaman out. Come on then. There we go. Alright. Let's pick that wood back up, and I'll quickly split that. Something like that. Actually, we could probably split it. Maybe like so. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I definitely want to build a house where we can keep the fire and potentially the cooking station inside the house. Now, I'm not entirely sure how we achieve that, but there's definitely going to be a lot of experimentation in the next several episodes to build our second house, and hopefully we'll be able to, you know, build a really nice house. And some people are also saying, oh, get, you know, those spikes up and get your house protected, because presumably the forest movement is probably going to get worse. Things are going to get harder for us, so it makes sense. Okay, we ran out of stamina in the middle of that fight. Not the best. Okay, there's another ancient seed. Can I maybe throw away some stones? That might do the trick. Alright. Let's leave things for now. And, yeah, just keen on maybe having a bit of a rest, and then, do I need to wait till the sun comes up before I go to visit the stones? I don't know. I mean, it does sound kind of wise, but I don't think we really need to do that, right? Like, we can surely survive what the night has to throw at us, considering all the gear that we have, etc, etc. But, let's see. Perhaps maybe we should put down a wood stack. Just over there, and let's see, anything else we can maybe store. Maybe we should start making the jam. Trouble is, I'm not entirely sure how long it takes to make the jam, and also whether or not it burns. I'm guessing it could, but I could be wrong. Okay, we need some dandelions for this as well. Good to know. And 10 honey. Interesting. So that's actually a big chunk of honey. Oh, actually, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. That's what was it? Minor healing mead. So it gives you 10 health back immediately, I'm guessing. Very useful. It needs to be fermented is what it says, so I have no idea how we would ferment that, but sorry guys, I meant to make Queen's Jam. Okay, we don't need honey for that. That's fine. Ah, okay, right. So we don't actually have to leave it to sit in the cauldron. We can just make some. Ah, that's really nice. Okay, cool. I'm still pretty satisfied with what we're eating and consuming right now, so I might actually just put some of this stuff away. Because, you know, we might actually keep that when we're sort of fighting tougher enemies. Let's just put a few more ingredients away there. Put that there. Got more bones. Bones galore. Feathers. Yeah, and the fish. I think I'm going to put the fish away as well. Seems like something that we shouldn't really be consuming too often until we need it. Those fire arrows really came in handy, but I think I won't craft any more for the time being. We should make do with the flint head arrows, and yeah, let's just store these ancient seeds. The swamp key, have no idea what we'll use for that, but got to store it somehow. Let's just leave that here. I'm probably going to have a real issue trying to find stuff when I come back to eventually sort things out. That's okay, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. More resins. We just continue to put resins in here. I can't imagine what happens if you build like such a massive house with so many torches that you're gonna have to spend like so much time trying to like put resins in all of the torches to keep all of them going. Seems a bit tedious, but I guess if it has to be done, it has to be done. Alright. As I said, guys, I don't think we really need to wait until daybreak to go out back to the stones. So I'm going to go to the stones right now. And, yeah, we're going to see if we can check out these new powers. And we'll have to sort of decide which one we want to use, because if I'm not mistaken, the way things work is that you can only use or equip one type of powers. So at the moment we've got the Eikthyr powers, but now that we've potentially got the Elder powers as well, we may need to choose between the two. So yeah, we'll see. I quite like Eikthyr and what Eikthyr does for us. But I don't know, if these powers let us perhaps maybe deal more damage or something like that, that'd be cool. Okay, it's morning already anyway, so... here we are back again. Feel like it's been a very long time since we've been here. I swear, the enemies in this game, they're like, you know, they do attacks and then they just like, you know, run away. It's a really frustrating thing to deal with. I'm so used to enemies just coming at you constantly. Alright. Got the random boar here. We'll grab all of that. Alright, so, I can't remember which one is the Elder. Is it this one? Nice. Okay, faster wood cutting. Okay, that's a very interesting buff. It might be worthwhile. In fact, guys, I'm actually going to take the Elder powers. The reason why I'm going to do that is because we are going through a build phase, which means that we're going to be needing a lot of wood and a lot of other resources as well. So we perhaps don't really need to, you know, use Eikthyr that much for the moment. Now I'm surprised that Hugin hasn't showed up to tell us what to do next. So, yeah, interesting. Perhaps maybe he might show his face later? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what's going on. Do we want to keep this starting hut? I mean, I don't even know. We can't really even do anything here. So I'm inclined to just get rid of some of this stuff, guys, because we may as well. We need a workbench to actually do that stuff, don't we? Let's just place one down, and we can just start breaking all of this stuff down. Yeah, and that way we can just collect some of the wood. And, I didn't know that breaking things down needed stamina as well. That's interesting. Alright. Plenty of wood gathered. And, yeah, maybe we can also break this down as well. Alright. Very nice. While we're out here, yes, let's gather some more raspberries as well, because we're going to need that now that we know that new recipe. I'm sure there's quite a few more raspberries around here. We could be breaking down these little huts as well if we wanted to, but I guess we're not desperate for that much wood, are we? We can always chop down some trees. I quite like having, you know, some of those old huts dotted about, you know, just to remind ourselves that there were potentially other souls that were here before us. Okay, looking good. And these dandelions as well. Now we know what those dandelions are for. So now I'm seeing the value in all the things that are given to us in these lands. Jeez. It took us a while to get there. Mushrooms. I bet you there's probably going to be like some recipes that call for mushrooms to be mixed into the dish as well. That's the house with the bees. Oh, and there's a troll over there. I don't really want to fight a troll right now. Speaking of trolls, we did get troll hides and whatnot. I should actually check on what we can craft with that. I'm pretty sure it's another type of leather armor that we can craft. But I mean, now that we've got the bronze, like, why would we want to craft more leather armor? I mean, would there be a purpose to do that? I mean, maybe leather armor might be a little bit lighter or something, so we can move around a little bit more. I think that's possibly the argument for getting leather armor, potentially. Okay, we've got stuff everywhere. It's probably a little bit overkill using our fire arrows. Yeah, we get 3 feathers for for the investment of 1 arrow. So that's not bad, actually, because with 2 feathers, you can craft, I think, a pack of 20 arrows. I mean, they don't really come in a pack, do they? But you know what I'm trying to say, guys. Alright. So, I am super happy with the progression that we've made this episode. Probably just going to set things up so that we're ready for this rebuild. One of the things that we need to decide early on, though, is where we're going to set things up. Now, I'm probably going to leave most of the things here while we're building the new house. That way we have a place to come back to rest while we build the new house, if that makes sense. And once we're ready to live in the new house, we'll actually place down a bed, and that would, I guess, mean that the house has been moved. We may keep this home here, though, because if our new house gets destroyed for whatever reason, then at least we've got a bit of a fallback position. The initial idea, though, was going to be perhaps maybe making a house here where the huts are, and I think that's wise. I don't think it's a good idea to try and build a house sort of deep towards the Black Forest, because there's all sorts of nasties and all sorts of trolls and whatnot in those Black Forests. I'm not sure if this is a safe spot either. Yeah, we could potentially have a good spot right here at where the initial house is, but I'm thinking maybe we relocate here to where this marker is, and we'll take down the huts and we'll sort of rebuild from the ground up there. Alright, so if we're going to start that process, then we may as well begin by putting a few things away, and then we'll head out to try and get things underway. Okay, we used up quite a lot of our blueberries already, so that's alright. You know, I don't foresee us using the... what is it? The jam that often. At least for now. Definitely need a lot of wood, so we're just gonna carry that for the moment. I think this is good. Just quickly grab this before it turns into coal. And yeah, let me just take a look at what we can craft with the troll hides. Okay, so let's do a bit of a comparison here. So we've got the Curious, gives us 8 armor. The troll leather tunic gives us 6 armor. Okay, so it's not bad, but I guess in comparison to the leather tunic, it gives you 2 armor. It means that obviously this is much more of an improvement, but our armor is still better. And of course, we haven't even upgraded anything with our armor currently, and it's still better than the troll armors. Let's take a look at some of our upgraded old stuff. Yeah, okay, so this is still only giving you 4 armor, so I'm not entirely sure what the upgrades are improving exactly. So anyway, do I want to bring some stones for our rebuild? For the moment, probably not. I just want to make sure that we've got the hoe. And look, let's just bring the pickaxe as well, because I'm sure we're going to probably need to start gathering some more ores sometime soon. But yeah, let's head out to the huts, and let's see if we can scout out the area and see if we want to decide to live there. I think that spot was decent for a first home, but I reckon we can do better. Okay, our deer meat situation is looking okay, but we are sort of starting to run a little bit low. I don't know, I'm just maybe a little bit too used to having a constant supply of deer meat to consume. Okay, so the site of the hut was roughly around here. I like the idea of being close to the water for whatever reason. I don't know if, you know, if there's any real benefit to being close to the water, but I don't know, it just seems cool to have a house on the waterfront, you know. I'm probably bringing real life into this a little bit too much. Can runestones be broken down? I have no idea. Maybe it might be wise to give it a try. Nah, doesn't look like it. I reckon we're gonna call our new home right here in this spot. I think it might be okay. I quite like having the oak tree over there, and obviously just having the... I don't know what this even is, because we haven't really explored further. But judging by what we have seen so far, it's probably not a lake. It could potentially be the ocean, but I like having the water just here as well. So, and you know, if we need to build a raft, you know, it's nice being close to water as well. Although, if we do build a raft, we're probably going to want maybe deeper waters, maybe around there somewhere. Yeah, around here, guys. We will start building the house here. Let's just have a quick look at how we're going for time. Okay. We are starting to run out of time in this episode. I would say that I'm going to try and keep these episodes about an hour long, but we can afford to maybe just place down the workbench there. And with the hoe, I can't remember, do we need a workbench close by to use the hoe? Or can we use the hoe anywhere? I forget. If we're too far? Oh no, okay, it seems like we can definitely use the hoe anywhere, it seems. But perhaps maybe the first thing instead of hoeing is perhaps maybe we're just gonna need to get rid of some of the rocks and the random logs lying about. So that's probably gonna be what we do first thing in the next episode. But yeah, I am super happy about defeating the Elder, finally. It only took us, what, 3 episodes? And yeah, we're now on to the next phase of this playthrough, which is the second rebuild. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed things so far. Again, I'm super happy and welcoming of all of the comments and all of the suggestions that you guys have been putting through. There's actually quite a few comments. I'm sorry I'm playing a little bit of catch up here and there as well, but I do really appreciate all the things that have been suggested so far, and I appreciate the patience that you guys have with my playthrough as well. Alright guys, leave a like, a dislike, or a comment or two down below. As usual, stay true. I'll see you in the next one.